From the roar of the crowd to the roar of the engines, this is Pit Pass.
Pit Pass is brought to you by Jake's Karts. Here's your host, Ron Fox.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Pit Pass. I will remember the 2011 racing season as one of unpredictable weather. At times it has altered my plans. For instance, this past Friday, I wanted to make it to Williams Grove Speedway since I had not been there at all this year. However, I played the safe bet and made a trip to Thunder Mountain Speedway. In the Super Stock feature, the three of Rich Howe and 02 of Dave Farringer started on the front row. As they take the green, Farringer shoots to the lead while the 28 of Fuzzy Fields works underneath Howe for second place. As they start down the backstretch, Fields is able to pull even with Farringer as they enter turn 3. In the middle of the turn, Fields slides in front of Farringer to take the point. Gary Luzier is in third, while Chad O'Brien in the white 77 challenges Howe for the fourth spot. With 5 laps down, we have a restart. O'Brien makes a move on Luzier for third place as they head into turn 1. Luzier is able to hold off O'Brien as they exit the turn. Behind them it is Howe, the 8 of Tom Slack, and 17 of Brandon Connor. A couple of laps later, Fields loses the lead and his tire in turns 1 and 2. For a number of laps, Luzier was able to stay within striking distance of Farringer at the head of the field. Here they come close to making contact in turns 1 and 2. Even laps later, Luzier would close in the turns, although Farringer would hold on to the lead as the laps ticked off. Connor and Slack would put on a good show as they contested a top 5 position in the latter stages of the race. With less than 3 laps to go, Luzier is finally able to squeeze to the inside of Farringer going through 1 and 2. Farringer still has a slight advantage heading into turn 3. They are practically side by side in the middle of the turn when Luzier muscles his way into the top spot. Luzier has half a car length lead at the line, yet opens up the gap going through 1 and 2. For the remainder of the event, Luzier was able to keep Farringer at bay to take home the victory. Congratulations, Gary, on not only your first street stock win, but your first ever in a stock car. How does it feel?
Pretty good. Feels real good. Been about 3 years trying to get this one, so it finally paid off.
What did it take to get to this point?
Had to learn how to drive the car. Never doing the sport before. It was a challenge. Used to riding a motorcycle with 2 wheels and jumping into something that you had to learn the setup and learn what tight and loose is and everything about the car was the biggest challenge.
It seems like Fuzzy had you and Farringer covered there, but once he fell out, you showed a lot of patience in tracking down Farringer.
Yeah, I had a little faster car going in. I didn't want to root him out of the way, so I would slow up, and then I didn't have the power to come out on him, and it took a while to figure out a good line to get around him. I don't like to drive aggressive, so I take my time and try to pass clean.
So here is your top 5 in the Super Stocks. It is Gary Luzier picking up his first career victory, with Dave Farringer second, Chad O'Brien third, Rich Howe fourth, and Brandon Connor fifth. Tony Mussolino in the white 21 led the steel block late models to the green with Luke Hoffner to his outside. Hoffner would have the lead before they hit the line. Behind Mussolino, Matt Gaston in the 47 and the 55 of Denny Fenton would race for the third spot. As they head into turn 3, Gaston closes on Fenton, then powers his way through the turns on the outside to gain on Mussolino as they complete lap 1. As they start lap 2, Gaston gets hooked up on the low side of turns 1 and 2, then shoots by Mussolino and into second place. A lap later, Fenton is able to take over third place with this move under Mussolino. Up front, Gaston tracks down Hoffner and sets his sights on the top spot. Gaston loses ground exiting turn 4, while Hoffner has to contend with lap traffic. Then as they go through 1 and 2, Gaston gets a good bite on the exit and rockets past Hoffner and into the lead. On the next lap, Gaston has to check up for the 2R of Rich Walmerdorf. This allows Hoffner to retake the lead. For many laps, Gaston would run the lower groove in an attempt to retake the lead from Hoffner, but it did not work. The caution comes out when Mussolino, who was racing the 3D of Bill Davis for a position, has to check up for Wommeldorf. He gets sideways and collects the 33 of Bernie Whiteford. On the restart, Hoffner is able to pull away from Gaston, while Fenton still runs in the third spot. Gaston briefly looks like he may regain the lead exiting turn 2, yet has to fall back into line for second. With 2 laps to go, Bob McMillan in the 50 is running 5th and trying to close on the 4th place machine of Davis. At the head of the field, Hoffner opened up his lead over Gaston on his way to collecting another checkered flag.
All right, congratulations on the win there, Luke. You and Matt certainly had a battle going there. Seems like the lap traffic certainly played a part in that.
Oh, yeah, man. I'll tell you what, I know Matt was going to be right there on the high side, so I kind of tried to block that spot. But my car was super fast up there, and I was running as fast as I could run it because I knew who was behind me there, and I knew he's really fast. So it was fun. I want to dedicate this race to my car owner. I don't know what else to say. You know, it was really good. It was some hard racing. I bet that's the hardest I ran over here in a long time.
And I was going to say they had that caution there late in the race. Were you glad to kind of see that at least you and Matt could race for it without some intangibles?
Well, actually, I didn't know how close he really was, so I didn't really want to see that caution. But I thought I had a flat tire there earlier in the race. When Matt got by me, I thought my tire was going flat. And then when I went into the next turn, it felt good again, so I got back in the gas, and it worked good after that. So I don't know what happened. Might have rolled it over on the beat or something.
And, of course, this is a good test for the Mike Eberl Memorial coming up there in September.
Yep, and the car felt pretty good tonight, so hopefully it'll stay that way. You know, it's been really fast lately anyway, and I don't know. I want to thank my pit crew, man. They do a good job. Junior Mitch, Charlie Mitch, George Cunningham, and Cindy, the car owner now, and Bill Schuster. I want to thank all of them. They do one hell of a job.
Hoffner, Gaston, Fenton, Davis, and McMillan make up your top 5 in the steel block late models. Zach Hawk was victorious in the pure stocks, and John Lee took the checkers in the enduros. Thunder Mountain still has one more week of racing left this season before the Mike Eberl Donnie Leonard Memorial race next month. Coming up next, highlights from the Red Miley Rumble at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. It's 44 laps of action for the UFO and ULMS Super Late Models. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
When you think golf carts, think Jake's Custom Golf Carts. With over 300 stock and lifted carts at their shop, you'll find the cart you need or have Jake's build one to your specs. Custom airbrushing, lift kits, sport shifters, rear seats. You name it, with the expertise and craftsmanship people have come to expect from Jake's. Come see for yourself why Jake's is the nation's premier golf cart provider. Jake's Golf Carts, Route 522 McVeigh Town. Online at jakesgolfcarts.com.